Flying Swords of Dragon Gate. Now that's a bit of a mouthful of a title. This is a surprisingly native shot 3D movie with stereo so exaggerated that when I first put it on, I just assumed it was a conversion. From a 3D perspective, it is terrific and is exactly the sort of thing I am always hoping to find. Now, I assumed it was a conversion, but shots such as this one caught my eye and made me wonder. If you'll notice, the shot's background, there's a mismatched environment glare that I've only ever noticed on natively shot 3D. And at this point, I was kind of wondering if this was perhaps some kind of next-level attempt at realism and conversion. But no, it's just the camera picking up light from different angles. I think, though, they did take full advantage of any green screen shots to give the foreground a little more pop where they could. And I think that may explain why there are a variety of levels of stereo throughout the film. Regardless of technique, though, most shots felt like they went for the maximum effect. The indoor shots in particular often had that golden age, 1953 feel, where you had rooms that really came alive in stereo detail and actually kind of gave that dollhouse feel. Also, many opportunities are taken to stab toward the camera, though always at a watchable angle, never on the nose, and overall a very pleasant yet wow experience. I've mentioned elsewhere how 3D can give tight spaces that extra little squeeze, but here in these cave shots I felt it helped me experience what the rocks might feel like. It's one thing to see someone hide in rocky cracks, but being able to take in the bumps and edges really gave me a sense of the discomfort of pressing into these cavities and having that sandpaper feel on your skin. On the outside, many, though not all, establishing shots are wide enough to define its elements. This particular moment gave a pleasing lightning strike, which is easily seen existing in its own space. There are less exaggerated establishing shots as well. My presumption is that the CGI locations were pushed beyond what the filmed ones could offer. Too many Hollywood movies at this time tried to keep the stereo realistic, but stereo is like those old tube amps that just don't sound good unless they were turned up to their breaking point. I noticed at least one insert shot that was left flat, and another brief moment felt like it might have had some primitive 3D conversion applied, but really hardly noticeable. From a 3D perspective, this is a near perfect experience. Now on the 2D disc, there is about a 30-minute behind-the-scenes reel, which is unusual in that it was very raw, loosely edited compilation of takes as seen from the crew point of view. No narration, just the audio off the camera itself, and it revealed that almost every picturesque outdoor shot was filmed surrounded by loud, irritating gas-powered leaf blowers, wind machines, and smoke machines. What an ungodly roar these people had to work through to make this movie. And at one point an actor comments that to do the shots you really weren't able to close your eyes, but there was so much sand being blown in their face that it was nearly impossible to keep your eyes open through it all. You also may notice that the cameras they used were massive, like something out of the 50s. Apparently the Red Epic was used most of the time, and that actually isn't a very big camera at all, so it must be that the 3D rig and lenses are what are taking up most of the space. Now in China, this kind of martial art cowboy genre is called wuxia. Wu, I guess, means armed, and Xia means follower of Xia, which is concerned with living by an internal discipline and code. If the marketing is to be believed, then this is the first 3D wuxia film. The martial arts are over the top and not bothered by physics. It's dubbed in a better than average way, which is important as 3D and subtitles are awkward companions. However, there were some minor story details that I'm not sure I quite understood. A backstory involving a flute and two characters that seemingly avoid each other out of some kind of sadness. It seemed like something that could be interesting, but ultimately I just didn't get it. I don't know if that's my failing, a script issue, or just something lost in translation. But ultimately, that plot point, and like any other plot point in this movie, was seasoning on an already fun theme park ride. The wonderful thing about this is there is no thinking required. Just sit back and enjoy.